All right, I'm live. Sorry I'm late, folks. Just took me a little bit to get this thing set up, but I'm here at the U.S. National Arboretum, and I was actually just doing some exploring around here, and they actually have quite a few palms here. I'm here at the visitor center, which is I think that's actually where I'm going to finish. So I'm going to go show you guys the most famous needle palm here first, and then I'm going to come back here. Look at that sable miner right there, and more sable miner over there, and a needle palm there. I think some of this might be Sander. Hey, I'm here at the U.S. National Arboretum. Since you're here, I'm gonna actually finish here. I'm gonna go and show you guys the awesome needle palm here, but I'll just start by showing you guys some of the palms here at the visitor center. I actually collected seed from this before. This is a beautiful sable miners here, and they have a lot of other. Looks like they planted even more sable miner over there, and they have you can see yucca over there, and they have some cacti and lots of exotica here. So beautiful sable miner here. Looks like most of the seeds fallen off, but you can see the stalks here. I've collected some from it before, because yeah, you can see a few little bit of seed on that one. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, these are some nice ones, and there's even more just up here. I'm pleased to see that. And yeah, I'm gonna go see show you guys the awesome big needle palm that everyone knows. All the palm lovers know DC's famous needle palm. So I'm gonna show you guys that after. But look at this. There's another nice needle palm. Whoa, excuse me. Sorry. That's the thing about DC is that the snow turns to ice. Yeah, look at this. Beautiful needle palm here with the thing. Yeah, I always heard that they did have a second one. Maybe this is what people were talking about. I don't know, but yeah, look, more sable miner here. Nice ones in the snow. Just shows you how tough these things are. Yeah, I think there's more up here. That might be it, but anyways, yeah, lots of nice palms here. Sander, yeah. Yeah, this is like that. That's like the second or third time I've slipped today from all the ice. So I gotta be careful. Yeah, my backyard, because some of the ice is starting to melt, so it's just really soft, and you just sort of just crunch through it. And then some of it is really hard, like a rock, and that's what you need to be careful of, because yeah, it can hurt depending on how you slip. Yeah, there's a little bit of ice here, but yeah, I'm glad the needle palm's okay. That's yeah. Thankfully, I've never fallen and crushed a palm, but yeah, that'd be unfortunate if I did that. But yeah, I hope to do more mobile live streams, just when I'm sort of out and about, and I hope to do it from the National Mall at some point. And I want to get one of those sticks that to hold the camera up, because it's like a bit wobbly with me just holding it in my hand. So I have to get one of those sticks. Jason Gillies, how are you? Can needle palms survive brief periods of -30°C? Yes, definitely. What is -30°C in Fahrenheit? I'm really bad at conversions once it gets like super low. -30°C is that they could survive down to like -20 Fahrenheit, which is certainly the coldest any palm can survive for brief periods. So I think -20 Fahrenheit is below -30°C, but correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't it change at like -20 something, like when Celsius starts being, when it changes to like warmer? I'm getting the conversions confused, but I think -30°C for an extremely brief period is going to be fine. It certainly might have some damage on it. I mean, I've seen needle palms get damaged. In New York they get damaged sometimes, but New York even, they can survive. So survive, I think yes. I think it might have some damage on it. Yeah. And you're in the Toronto area, right? Yeah, look at these. Look like cypresses back there. They do have a lot of bald cypress here, and yeah, lots of nice trees here. -22 Fahrenheit. Yeah, okay, that's a good, yeah, -22 Fahrenheit. Thank you. Yeah, I that's gonna be pushing it for a needle palm. I would say I mean, look at what's happening in Texas. They have palms much less cold tolerant. So I would say yes for a very brief period of time, because if you look at Dallas, for example, which has huge Washingtonia, lots of huge Washingtonia, and Houston, which has huge date palms and Canary Island date palms, and even Majesty palms, which those are probably gonna be toast, but some of those other palms probably will survive. I would say yes, because Dallas got down to what, like -6. Dallas and Texas is just blows my mind how cold it's getting there. It's crazy. I feel bad first, obviously, for all the people, but I feel bad for all the palms too. I mean, think about how much they're suffering and stuff. So yeah, negative. Jason Gillis, Cochrane, Alberta. Sorry, I'm confusing you with someone else. There's someone else who was on here last time from Toronto, but Cochrane, Alberta. Right. I remember you telling me that before. I gotta start memorizing where people are. I know where Sandor is. But yeah, Cochrane, Alberta. That is yeah. Do you have a needle palm? Because zone pushing test. I mean, I think you're certainly gonna need to protect it, obviously, but I don't know. Special heat with the needle palm thing. Isn't what is it? I think there's yeah, so like in the plains of Canada, there's all this. I feel like a lot of the cities there are pretty high elevation. Yeah, Sandor, exactly, definitely. Yeah. You need an immediate. You probably need for it to start an immediate like heat streak, which is sort of what's happening in Texas. Like, I don't know if it's happening yet or it's supposed to happen like tomorrow or something, but someone said it's supposed to get to like 20 Fahrenheit, 20 Celsius. In I think Dallas or something. It's supposed to like warm up like crazy. So that's what's probably gonna keep some of those Washingtonia alive. It's just the warmth coming back. That's the thing about Texas, is it swings like crazy. And I'm the same with Alberta, definitely huge temperature swings between night and day, and from one day to the next. Yeah, nice canal here. But yeah, it would definitely test it. Yeah, but I think a needle could handle it. Obviously, with some damage. I think a lot of open space here. This is the U.S. National Arboretum in the east end of DC, which has seen some. It's in an area that's like sort of transitioning. Like it was really dangerous, and now a lot of businesses are moving in. But the Arboretum itself is incredible. It's very nice. Looks like they have a lot of conifers here, which I like. I don't really love the DC forests because they're, in winter they just, I feel like they look rather ugly because of all the deciduous trees. I'm a big conifer fan, and evergreen. Handle weeks of -20 Celsius. -20. Okay. Weeks with where every day it's -20 Celsius. I would say no, because this is what palms hate, and needle palms are going to be the most tolerant to it, but they still are a palm, so they're going to hate it. Is prolonged freezes. Like a needle palm can survive -20 Fahrenheit, with a where it's like a quick dip, and then warms up after that. But weeks, because if you're saying for a low of -20 Fahrenheit, I'm going to guess the high is probably not going to be that high, and if that's several weeks, that's really going to test it, and I don't think it's going to be able to survive that for weeks. No. Yeah, not unprotected. But yeah, that's awesome that you're I think that Alberta's a great place to test palms, like cold-hearted palms like that, with just minimal protection. I feel like if you have just they box it in, you probably won't even need any heat, so long as you like wrap it up correctly. But yeah, I don't have much experience actually with protecting palms. I mean, I know how to, but I've never really done much because well, for my trackies, they're unprotected so far, and they're doing well actually. Just some minor damage. The leaves, the thing with the leaves is that the ice has stuck to them, so when the ice like sort of melts off, it tears up the leaves a little. So the leaves are more torn than cold damage. There's really no cold damage on my palms at all. Just some leaf damage actually. Week and a half. Jason, I don't think so. I mean, it's a good experiment if you're willing to possibly let your palms die, but that'd be an interesting test to see. but I would have to say no, erring on the side of caution, and I would just at least put some sort of, maybe like a bag or something over it. I mean, I don't think a bag's gonna do it. I think you're gonna need some sort of protection, but yeah, that's the thing. Kind of yeah, that's the thing about cold areas, is just sometimes it's gonna be tricky to judge exactly how to protect your palms. But yeah, in Cochrane, Alberta, with the needle palm, you're really gonna not need, I don't think you're gonna need super heavy protection like you need in extremely cold areas. I mean, yeah, it depends. All depends on how long the cold temperatures are. I don't think you're gonna get. I don't think the temperature alone is what's gonna damage the palms. It's the prolonged temperature. Nice little waterfall over there. Some cypress trees up here. Sander, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, that's definitely that's probably, if I lived there, that's probably what I would do, just to, you know, to be cautious, because I mean I should probably have protected my trackies already, but you know, just to be cautious, that's definitely a smart thing to do. Look at this little knees on the cypress tree over here. Cypress trees actually have naturalized in parts of DC. I don't know if these are, I'm guessing these are planted, but cool to see them right on the edge here, producing knees. See the little knees sticking out of the lake. There are actually quite a few bald cypress trees here in DC. Only a week and 2 days. Really? Well, I still think, well, first of all, did you have any palms? And if so, did you protect them? Because I would love to know. But yeah, even a week and 2 days, I would say, you know, anything above like a couple of days, even if you have like just 2 or 3 days where it gets down to that cold, that is really a test for a needle palm, even just 1 day. So that'd be interesting to see. Look at that just wall of conifers up there. You see, they look like all pines, but I love that. That's one of my favorite parts of the Arboretum, obviously aside from the palms. It's just how many conifers they have here. Because I'm kind of tired of the DC forests. I think they are rather ugly. Like Ontario, I like Ontario's forest. Ontario has very transitional forests. Then you get further north and you get more, you know, subarctic and even Arctic. You have polar bears in Ontario, northern Ontario. So I really like Ontario's geography, and yeah, this area, just the Midwest and the Mid-Atlantic, just the forests are just not my favorite kind. But you know what? I deal with it, and could be a worse climate. It's a pretty good place for growing palms, so yeah. Look at this beautiful tree. This thing looks old. Do not know what kind of tree this is, but let me know if you know. Look how stout the base is, and so thick down there. And then, wow. Yeah, I've seen this tree before. Well, look at all these pines and conifers. They're beautiful. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a little hill over there called, I think it's called Mount Hamilton, and it's not really a mountain. It's like 200 or 300 feet elevation. DC gets down to like around the National Mall. That's about sea level. The Potomac River is sea level, so the highest point in DC is 410 feet, and it's actually not far from where I live. I live in Maryland, but near the DC border. So look at that, just giant forest of conifers. Isn't that cool? And the other cool thing about the Arboretum is they actually have the columns from the U.S. Capitol building. They, I guess they did they sort of made part of the Capitol, I guess, to expand it in the 1800s, and they took the old columns and brought them here. I guess some of the columns that were not being used, so they're over in a different part. But we're nearing the needle palm, guys. So stay with me. I've lost some. Yeah, wow, Sander. Yeah. Especially if they're unprotected. Yeah, that's a climate that's gonna test needle palms. Definitely can kill them if it gets too cold. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that definitely need protection of some sort for those. I think one of these roads is called Conifer Road. So Yeah, and for some reason, which is very strange to me, the Asian garden section is right up here. They have a lot of Asian plants, and that's where the needle palm is. So the needle palm was planted in the 60s, I believe. One source said the 70s, but most people say it's the 60s. So I believe it was planted in the 60s, over 50 years old, over 10 feet tall. I have a nice picture of me like entangled in the bush that is the needle palm here. It's really quite a remarkable plant, and you can't really, the camera doesn't do it justice. The scale of it's just immense. Could you naturalize needle palm? Jason, the only place I would say you even have a chance of sorts is probably going to be on Point Pelee, or some of the really mild areas. I wouldn't say really mild, but some of the more mild areas along Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, or some of the Great Lakes. I'd say Lake Erie is probably the best chance you have, but don't go believing what Bigfoot Squad BWPP says. Lake Erie does not have 8B microclimates. It does not have 7B microclimates. Not even sure if it has 6B microclimates. So you gotta be, I mean, I would say just throwing seeds around, you're never gonna naturalize needle palms. I would love someone to prove me wrong, but I really think that's the truth. And I think maybe if you put a seedling in the ground, put a bunch of seedlings, maybe, I don't know. I don't even know what your chances of growing unprotected. Point Pelee is probably one of the most mild areas, and the Pelee Islands. So that's your best chance, I'd say. Look at this beautiful conifer forest. Really nice. Then you can see that water tower way in the distance over there, and the National Mall's a little further along. Can't quite see it. And then that's Mount Hamilton there. There were some in the Niagara region. Really? Were they unprotected? Because it is actually quite remarkable to me. And obviously part of it has to do with the fact that I was looking at New York. I don't know as much about Ontario's climate zones, but I looked at a lot of US states' climate zones. And New York, it's really amazing how the lake actually, to a decent degree, moderates the temperature. It's actually much milder than further south in the mountainous areas. Obviously, it has a lot to do with elevation. I understand that, but it is amazing out along the lake. Not 8B, not 7B, but maybe some 6A microclimates along the lake. Look at this beautiful. This is a cypress. This is actually one of the most famous areas, more famous areas of the mall. It's this beautiful like cypress stand of cypress trees that they planted here. Tupelo here. This thing is ancient. Wow. Look at this. Yes, Jason, yes, they, mulch can and, mulch and leaves are actually very effective ways at, of giving, palms sun protection, especially in pots. I mean, or especially in the ground, not particularly in pots, but yes, mulch and leaves, but for -20 prolonged for a number of days or weeks, that's not going to do much, but it definitely is an effective way. It's like, well, I'm not sure it's quite as effective as Christmas lights, but it's an effective way. Christmas lights is another good way. Yeah, Sandra looks nice. Yeah, this is a beautiful trees. They're the Chinese cypress variety. I'm forgetting the name now, but yeah, beautiful. Metasequoia something. I'm forgetting the name. I think it's like Glyptostrobus or something like that. Wow, it's really icy here. I'm gonna go back on the road. Yeah, we're like maybe 4 minutes or 3 or 4 minutes from the needle palm. Very close. It's right along this road. There's a bag or something stuck in that tree. Yeah. So yeah, Jason, the answer is yes, it can protect it, but it all depends on how cold it's actually getting. Because it can protect it for a short breeze, maybe it'll help, but for -20 Celsius or Fahrenheit, for anything more than like a day or so is not going to do that much. Maybe 2 days, I don't know. But yeah, that's really testing it. Even if it's just a low, is -20. That's just really low. So you're gonna probably need a little heavier protection. Sander, yes, yeah. I actually just saw some down at the lake. That's what those trees were at the. There's bald cypress down at that little pond down there, and yeah, there's quite a few cypress trees here. They've naturalized along a lot of the waterways. You get to Roosevelt Island, across from the National Mall. The only bridge to get to it is from Virginia, but it's in DC. Geographically, all the islands in the Potomac River, interestingly, are actually part of either Maryland or DC, which is like the state sort of to the north. It's kind of hard to explain, but despite the fact that a lot of them are only connected to Virginia, they're actually part of they're actually part of Maryland and DC, because DC is carved out of Maryland. It used to be part of Maryland, and in 1790 it was separated to make a federal district to serve as the capital of the United States. And yeah, and then part of Virginia was carved out to make DC, but in 1846 Virginia got greedy and asked for their land back, so now it's part of Virginia again. So now DC, just the Maryland portion, is remaining, and now they've talked about statehood and all sorts of things. So it's got quite a big population though. 1,000 packed into a very small geographical area. Wow. Bamboo trunks here with like birds on top, some sort of bamboo art. Interesting. Yeah, Sander, actually, so right down there you sort of see that ridge line way across, and then in the valley right down there, beyond those conifers, it goes down and down, and that's the Anacostia River, which is a river that flows through DC and then into the Potomac River in DC. And that there are naturalized cypress. I don't know if you remember seeing that video from this place called Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens, but they have naturalized cypress there, as well as several other locations in DC. Sander, that's a good question. I forgot to check when I was coming here, but it's warmed up considerably. I'm gonna say it's probably around 40 right now. Maybe like 4 or 5 Celsius probably. At least it's nice and warm. Scrub pine here. Lots of other conifers here. Gotta make sure I'm taking the right road. Needle palm. Jason Gillies definitely there. Are zone 6 palm in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is borderline zone 6A or 6B. There are some long-term needle palms, surprisingly, which is actually impressive. But zone 5, you're definitely gonna need protection unless you have a surprisingly mild winter. Look at that nice view down there. You can see that field. You're definitely going to need some substantial protection. And sorry, I did take the wrong road, just right down here. But yeah, you're definitely need protection in zone 5. Scruffy, hello, welcome. Just doing a live stream at the National Arboretum here, and it's a nice day. Very nice out. It's probably in the low 40s today, which is a change, and it was considerably colder this morning, so I'm pleased to see this week's gonna be pretty mild. Yeah, Sander, yeah, it's nice and mild now. It's really nice. I'm really happy to see these mild temperatures, and I hope it stays this way, because we're getting close to the to when I can stop worrying about I'm gonna need to protect my palms, because it is getting close to that point. In fact, there's a certain point in February where you can just where you can pretty much be assured you're not going to have any extreme cold snaps, and unless you have those occasional weird March cold blasts, which are pretty rare, but do happen. All right, I'm gonna walk through here now. Yep, nice day out. So this is the Asian garden section where I am now. Lots of Asian plants here. And the needle palm is just down here, so bear with me, and we will show you guys this beast of a palm. Got about a little more than a half hour before yeah, sorry if it's a bit wobbly. Yeah, I definitely, if you guys know of any of those, those camera sticks, I need to get one of those. Look at the bamboo in there. Bamboo, again, people don't realize that there are native bamboo here. Look at the Fatsia japonica, all around, lots of Fatsia here in the Asian garden section. But yeah, bamboo is both invasive and native here. So there's native species, there's invasive species. And yeah, people just think they're invasive because gardeners hate them, because there are a lot of, invasive species here. Like this here, bumping bamboo here from China. This certainly can be invasive, but yeah, there's I believe 3 native species to Maryland. Congaree National Park, where I saw this native sable miner. There's native bamboo there, and here in DC in Maryland. So yeah, bamboo is a large family. People don't realize how widely distributed it is, and how not all of it is invasive. There's native North American bamboo. So the biggest musabaju I may have ever seen in the DC area is right up here, and it's dead in winter, as can be expected, but it's dormant, but it's right up here. So I should show you guys that, and then the needle palm is right there. Huh. It says this path is closed. Yeah, it's a nice garden area. More Chinese cypress up there. So oh, here it is. This is the musabaju. There's more back there. So, I mean, obviously you can't see the size of it, but it's like 30 feet or something. It's a huge musabaju, and obviously dormant now, and they chop them all down. But I mean, just look at the size of this thing. Look at this. And when you squeeze them, water tends to come out. It's really soggy. That's what happens to them, obviously, because they're not alive. And there it is in all its glory. The famous needle palm of the National Arboretum. This is a gem to us DC palm and exotic plant lovers. Sorry, I went with the sun. There. Nice Fatsia there, by the way. Look at this thing. Isn't that amazing? Let me get this stick out of here. Look at this thing. Is Niagara Tropics and North Forks a good place? Jason, I don't know that place. I'm guessing that's some sort of exotic plant nursery, but probably. I think a lot of places upstate, they tend to sell tropical palms, which is not bad, of course, but obviously you can't plant those. So it depends on what they're selling, and it depends on, obviously price and things like that. But yeah, I would say that is. I should check that out actually, but I'm sure it's probably reliable. I would call them and do some investigating ahead of time. But yes, this is the famous needle palm. So yeah, this is what I came here for, and it's a beast, I'll tell you. It is a beast. Look at those leaves. I mean, it's just incredible. Ah, Sandra. I see. Is that in Ontario or New York? Look at this thing. Look at that new leaf just emerging out of the side. This trunk, and it is a multi-trunking palm. This is just such a big needle palm. Like it's very rare to find one this big in the wild, and we have one here so far north of where they grow. Like sable miner grows considerably further north than needles, and then you have this. Look at this thing. I mean, look at this frond. Like, look at my hand here in comparison to this thing. I'm gonna, yeah, this and the trachea at the Air and Space Museum, perhaps my two favorite palms. I also like that they have a big trachea at the zoo, which I unfortunately can't visit now because it's closed, but I actually hope to see that soon because it's quite impressive. But look at this thing. I mean, yeah, like I said, I had a picture and it was nowhere close to the top. I was just enshrined in this bush. Look at this thing. It's huge. And again, the spread on that is just massive. It's considerably more wider than it is tall, but again, to the top of that leaf, it's got to be at least 10 feet, and then probably a 12, 13-foot spread. Niagara, Ontario. Sander, awesome. Yeah. I have been to Niagara Falls, stayed in New York, and then went on to Toronto and Quebec, I think 2 or 3 summers ago. And I have relatives in Montreal and friends in Kingston, Ontario. So beautiful area, and the falls themselves were stunning and very blue, surprisingly blue. Most rivers I find in the Midwest / Eastern U.S. at least are pretty polluted. DC rivers are not very blue, so I was very impressed by that. And Niagara Falls is stunning, really stunning. I mean, obviously it's such a famous place, but yeah, I'm really glad to have gone there. And I should check out that nursery if I'm ever back there. But look at this thing. Look at this thing. So yeah, it's no wonder everyone knows literally snow on those trunks. So that's one trunk there, and then another back there, and several more from the side. But just look at like how dense. It looks like a stand of bamboo, like how dense the and those are all palm fronds just stuck together. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing, guys? And you can see that new frond emerging there. Anyways, I'm gonna head back to the visitor center now and show you guys those palms and some more exotic plants here at the Arboretum. But this is the incredible needle palm. And yeah, this thing blows me away every time I see it. Remember the first time I saw it, it's just incredible. Look at this thing. Let's see if there's a sign somewhere. Oh yeah, there is a sign here. Don't know why it's in the Asian garden section, but I'm not complaining. I'm just happy they planted it in the 60s before there were many palms in DC. Look at that. Needle palm, southeastern US. Such a cool palm. I really love needle palms. People think that they're kind of ugly and because they're shrub-like but not really trees, but I love them. If I move to Southern California, I hope to move there. And one dream of mine is to have every native palm to the US. I'm not sure if that includes Hawaii and the territories or not, but at least to the states themselves, to the continental states. I hope to have I would love to plant every native palm, so obviously including a needle palm, because the U.S. has a good amount of native palms. We have 13 or 14. I mean, some species are disputed, but yeah, there's some nice palms native to the states. Look at that thing. Isn't that just amazing? And again, yeah, I mean, the camera just doesn't do it justice. It's a beast. I mean, I've seen pictures of it. Like, I only have seen pictures of it before I came here. And I saw pictures from like 2001 of some palm group in DC, in the DC area. And they came and visited this palm, and it was a beast back then. Now I come here like almost 20 years later. It's still here and thriving, and it's huge. Wish it would produce seed though. That'd be awesome. They have winery produced seed here, which is awesome. That's the only palm I've actually seen with seed on it in the DC area, because usually other palms are just planted, one, like trachees, don't produce seed because it's just like the one at the Aerospace Museum is just one trachea, so no pollination can occur. But yeah. Sander, yeah, you love them. Yeah, they're great palms. Yeah, they're awesome. And obviously, part of the reason I like them so much is just their cold tolerance. And the fact that I don't have one, it's kind of sad. I need to get one. But yeah, they are such cool palms. They are awesome. Nice magnolia back there. Magnolias are everywhere, but I love them because they're evergreens. And yeah. So how are things where you guys are? I forgot to ask you guys what's the temperature there. Sander, how is it? We have still a bit of snow here, as you can see. My backyard's pretty shaded, so it is quite a bit. Look at all the naturalizing magnolias under there. Crazy. It's like a jungle in there. But yeah, quite a bit of snow, mostly ice here. So Jason and Sander, anyone else if you're in there, yeah, let me know how things are where you are. What's the snow? What's the temperature? I hope things are mild. Texas in the south are getting it. They're getting hit hard. Yeah, it's kind of without power, and obviously all the palms struggling. Someone told me that they've seen some pictures of the dying royal palms down there, because South Texas is actually full of royal palms, which are some of my favorite of all palms. I hope to plant one day if I move to a warmer area. And anyways, I've heard that at least some of them are dying down there, as of course is expected with this cold blast. But it's just kind of sad, very sad to see these palms suffering and struggling. But yeah, what's the weather where you guys are? How's the temperature? And yeah, how is it? Hopefully it's nice and mild. Yeah, I hope we don't see like what's happening in Texas for a while. Anywhere. Palm tree dude, hey, okay, let me know. I just went past the giant needle palm here, but of course I can go show you it. Would you like to see it, or would you would you like me to go back and see it? It's just back here. It's very easy for me to go back, because that thing is a beast. Welcome, by the way. And yeah, how are things where you are? What's the temperature? Snowfall? I remember when I was down in Richmond last weekend, they had considerably more snow than the DC area. So you can see just a bit on the ground here, mostly ice. Really, I've slipped several times. It's really, a lot of it's slippery, especially the shaded ice. 30 Fahrenheit, sunny, but expecting another, wow. Yeah, the Great White North, as people call it. Yeah, that is great. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna expect. I think Monday there might be a little snow, but or yeah, Monday or Tuesday, but not much so far. I mean, yeah, we just had one pretty heavy snowstorm. Then this past weekend we got a bit. Last weekend, the previous weekend, we did not get much. We were supposed to get some, but it was mostly rain and just clouds. But yeah, that's not bad. 30 Fahrenheit is not bad. It could be a lot worse. Did you see my latest? I believe I did. Sorry, I haven't been watching. Tell me when you published it. I think I saw your latest video. I'm forgetting which one that was, but yesterday I was kind of busy, so I haven't watched YouTube in a couple of days. But Joe's videos I haven't watched in a while, also a little while. But I remember seeing one of your videos, like I think a couple of days ago with the snow. Yeah, you guys have quite a bit there. Crazy. Whatever. No. Palm tree dude. Yeah, I'm going to it right now. This is something people need to see, because this is one of my favorites here in the DC area. Snow's been gone for a while here. 40. Oh, wow, nice. Yeah, we're in the low 40s right now. Probably maybe 44. I don't know. I forgot to check, but just feels nice out. It's definitely not in the 30s. It is really nice out. I'm loving the little bit of a warmer weather. Bit of snow there. With the crow. I don't think I have seen that, Sander. I need to watch that. I think no, I don't think I saw that one. I need to watch it. When did you publish it? Because Yeah, would you publish it like, was it yesterday that you published it? UV index. Ah, palm tree dude. Yeah, awesome. That's awesome. China Valley. This is the Asian garden section. A lot of Asian plants. Yeah, that's awesome. UV index starting to go up. Yeah, things. I'm hoping things are gonna be mild for the rest of winter now at this point, because things look mild for the most part. I haven't seen any extreme cold snaps. We haven't really gotten much extreme cold snaps, but palm tree dude, here it is. The one of the most famous palms, of course, in the DC area, and I'm really just surprised to see it so far north on the East Coast. There's actually a big one. I wouldn't actually say it's too much smaller than this, at the Morton Arboretum in the Philly area, Philadelphia, which is awesome. It's actually a surprisingly good climate. I think it's the 7B there, so it's like DC, because it's a little close to the ocean, so you know, regulation of temperatures. But yep, here it is. Palm tree dude. Yep, this is a yeah, big is an understatement. No, this is a beast. Like I said, you look in here and you see those, all those stems coming out from these huge beasts of trunks. Look at those trunks in there with snow on them and all those leaves stuck in the trunks. This thing is a beast, yeah. Look at this. Over 10 feet tall and 12 and 13 feet in spread. The spread is amazing on this thing. Here you go. Yeah, palm tree. Does it have a lot of trunk? Yeah, it has at least 3 feet of trunk on it. Yeah, it's got quite a bit of trunk for a needle. I mean, this thing is, obviously, needle palms tend to not get huge trunks because of their, they're bush-like. But yeah, look at that thing. Incredible. Yeah. I feel like I saw a video, or a picture at least on Palm Talk, of, I don't know if it was an arboretum or botanic garden in the Richmond area that had a needle palm, probably a bit smaller than that, but still a huge one. And it seems like, again, I'm surprised that trackies are so common there, but that needles and sable minor are pretty rare, or at least what I saw and what I've read. But yeah, I'm assuming people have some pretty big needle palms somewhere in the Richmond area, because it's a pretty mild, bit warmer than DC. So yeah, that one's a beast. And by the way, palm tree dude, there's I started the video at the visitor center, and I'm going back there right now. There's another needle palm there and a number of stable minor there, so pretty awesome to see them planting quite a few palms here in DC. It'd be cool if they plant a few in the woods. That's what I'm gonna try to do. I took a video last week and I still haven't posted it. I've been postponing posting it. I've been posting other videos, but I need to post it, of a bunch of sable minor seedlings that I actually yanked out, maybe needle palm in there too, that I yanked out with the roots and all from the garden beds at the Air and Space Museum, because the gardeners always rip them out. And I've noticed this, and they actually used to have more sable minor than they do now at the Air and Space Museum. And they even ripped out mature sable minor for reasons I cannot even fathom. I don't know why they would rip out palms that are thriving. Clearly they didn't die, if the trachea survived. But yeah, it's crazy what they do. I don't know why, but they always rip out the seedlings. So I took quite a few seedlings. I took a number of them, like a little bushel of them, a bunch of them, and it'd be awesome. You know, some people think that they like to see them palms planted in gardens, which I understand, but a more natural setting, like my garden, and this can't be really the case in the DC area. My palms are just too small. But if I move to Southern California, hopefully, I want my garden to look as least landscaped as possible. I want to get like that natural, and I would love to plant tropical palms. That's one of the things I love about California. Everyone knows palms grow there, but people don't know that there are quite a few true tropical plants that grow there. A lot of the palms there are actually true tropical palms. royal palms, huge ones, and you know, some coconuts and stuff like that. Yeah, it's awesome. So I gotta read your guys' comments. The only Williamsburg, awesome. Yeah, I know Busch Gardens Williamsburg has actually some big trackies. I know there's actually a Sable Riverside and Palmetto, as well as Sable Minor, at a house of a former Palm Talk owner. I know exactly where it is because they posted the location in Yorktown, Virginia, and that palm is actually unprotected Sable, Palmetto, and Riverside. That's one of the northernmost ones that I know of on the East Coast. It's really actually quite remarkable, and they're pretty big now, and they have Sable Minor as well in Palmetto. So that's awesome. Yeah, I'm assuming there's gonna be quite a few palms in Williamsburg if you really look around. Yeah, that makes sense. Pretty mild down there with the as you get closer and closer to the coast and further south. Home Depot in Calgary sells Robusta. Awesome, yeah. Well, Jason, now it depends what you want to do. I don't know if you're considering getting one, but the first Robusta I've really seen in a store, I saw a big one for $250. When I say big, it was like a 4-foot Robusta. And you guys might have seen in my other video, a 4-foot Robusta of, and it was just, it was really overpriced. $250 is just way too much. This garden store charges a lot for some plants. My lady palm for $35, which is actually not that much considering that the Robusta is so expensive, but they shouldn't be that expensive. They're so common, not endangered or rare at all. So maybe it's, I don't know, pure Robusta, because stores do like to rip people off by selling hybridized Filibusta or Filibusta crossed with Robusta over and over, so it really looks like a Robusta. But yeah, yeah, it is, I don't know. So it depends what you want to do, because some people, like, there was this guy that had a 20-foot Robusta in my neighborhood. I've been to his house, and I made a video in his house, and I hope to go back in summer, because he has this giant 500, 600-pound Pindo palm that he pulls out of this greenhouse and brings in the front. And he used to have 20-foot tall trackies that died, sadly, and which just goes to show you that they can die here. And he protected it every year, protected, and it just gets too big because it grows 3 feet a year. Probably slower here in the DC area, but still very fast growing, and they just get incredibly big. So eventually they're probably gonna get too big for you to protect, unless you're willing to put some sort of a tower over it, because they get up to 100 feet at least. And so that's the thing, is that you buy one of those, it's a big commitment, and you're probably gonna have to see it die. And again, for indoors, it's the same thing. They're just gonna get too big to keep indoors pretty quickly. So, but yeah, I know a lot of the big stores that don't know much about selling palms, they would sell, you know, coconuts or Robusta or some other palm that just really isn't the right fit for this climate. If it was tropical here, it'd be something else, or a warmer climate. But yeah, I hope they grow. Oh yeah. Oh, palm tree, dude. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I have 2 seedlings in my yard that I kept in a pot, and they are not doing well. They're Sable Minor, and then I have 2 date palm seedlings that I grew that are doing well, and I have some other Sable Minor seedlings. But yeah, thanks. Yeah, my transplanting experience wasn't great in the past. The seedlings are like half dead, half alive, with still some growth on them. But yeah. That's the old ones that I transplanted a while ago. Then the new ones are still fine, and most of them have roots on them, roots completely intact or partially intact. So we're just gonna have to see how they do. But yeah, yeah, that's definitely an indication. Is the fiber. I think the fiber is kind of cool that they get on the on the leaves. But yeah, that's the thing. Most Washingtonians in people's yards will at least be filibustered, I guess you'd say, to some degree, because you're always gonna have. Usually stores do that, and either unknowingly or knowingly, just because it's, you know, it's so common to have them cross, especially in areas like Southern California, where they naturally hybridize. Well, not really naturally, but where they do hybridize, and then obviously in their native habitats in northern Mexico, it's where the two species grow together, they will hybridize. So part of it's just that they do hybridize so easily. And, you know, some people argue they should be included in one species. I mean, I kind of disagree, but they are easily hybridized, and yeah, most that you'll find in stores will be at least to some degree hybridized. And again, it could have been crossed several generations ago with a Folifera or a Robusta, and then it'll look like a Folifera or Robusta, but it'll be hybridized to some degree, and that's what you'll find a lot. So it can be hard finding true Robusta, actually true Robusta. Do you have? No, I do not. Hibiscus, Moschiotus. No, how do you pronounce that? Moschiotus. No, I don't. I don't grow any hibiscus, but I'm sure there's plenty here in the DC area. No, I'm more of a palm guy, and you know, I have a lot of flowers that my parents have planted, but no hibiscus. But yeah, maybe I should plant one. Do you have some? I'm assuming they would do well. We're usually some species pretty cold hardy palms. Pretty cold hardy plants. So yeah, no hibiscus, but there's definitely some here in the DC area. Is that swamp hibiscus? I do not know. What species is that? Is that swamp hibiscus? I don't know my hibiscus that well. Sorry, I should say I don't know them very well at all, because yeah, again, I'm more of a palm and exotic plant guy. And I guess you could say hibiscus or, you know, maybe somewhat exotic, but I like really like tropical and desert plants. I like cacti a lot, actually. All right. So folks, I have about 8 minutes. I'm gonna try to get back. Yeah, I just appreciate you guys all being in there, and yeah, this is a good live stream. It's awesome to be here and showing you guys all the palms and Exotica. Of course, they have a lot of natural areas like this and like Mount Hamilton up there, which does have some landscaped gardens on part of it, which is kind of cool. They fit like sort of half landscaped areas with like paths in the woods, which looks kind of natural. Oh, there's a nice hawk there, red-tailed. I'm gonna get, I don't think you guys can see it, but way over there on the branch right there. All right, swamp rose mallow hibiscus. I see. Jason, well, you seem to know your hibiscus. Do you grow it? I'm assuming you do. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure it's beautiful. Oh, palm tree. Are you talking about the hibiscus? Yeah. I'm sure they're easily introduced. Yeah. I mean, here in the DC area, we have so many introduced species that it's honestly, it can be frustrating. Some of them like invasive vines, ivy, kudzu, which you know I hate. But some of them are cool. I mean, invasive bamboo, pretty much all gardeners, I shouldn't say pretty much all gardeners, a lot of gardeners hate. But I think I like bamboos a lot, so I kind of leave them alone, and I don't hate them, not nearly as much as I hate vines, you know, because they will take over. I won't argue with that, but they won't like choke out and kill trees the way that kudzu and other vines do. You know what I mean? A camel who likes Coke. Hi, welcome. So I went to show people I don't know if you know of the needle palm here, the famous needle palm at the Arboretum, but I just showed people that, and I'm heading back to the visitor center where just outside there's another needle palm and quite a bit of sable miner. So yeah, I'm here with the U.S. National Arboretum in Washington, D.C., in East D.C., the eastern part of it. Zone 4, wow, so definitely, what is Cochrane? Is it like zone 4B or 5A? Or is it colder? Is it 4A? I don't know Alberta or Canadian. I know the prairies of, you know, the prairie provinces and the plain states of the U.S. Alberta, Saskatchewan, Montana are quite cold for the most part. And yeah, they're pretty cold states and provinces, but those are the capital columns. Unfortunately, I can't go to them right now. I gotta probably end this pretty soon, but yeah, that's those used to be at the U.S. Capitol, and I think they were removed when they were doing renovations. And I don't actually know the story of the specific reason why they were removed. They also have Capitol stones in Rock Creek Park, which is a park here. They, I guess, were just doing renovations. So these are from the, I guess, late 1700s, early 1800s, and they were moved here once the Capitol was sort of redone. The Capitol's changed a lot, the Capitol building. So yeah, and that's Mount Hamilton over there. A lot of like sort of almost prairie and meadow here, which is probably all artificial, but still looks cool. So Camel Who Likes Coke, welcome. And just gonna end this soon, probably, but just gonna show you guys exotic plants here at the visitor center, including the palms. Yeah, it's a Camel Likes Coke. You are in Fort Mill, South Carolina, right? Tell me, yeah, how's the weather there? Did you guys get any snow? I'm kind of doubtful that you did, but yeah, how's the weather there? Did you guys? Hopefully, you guys were spared from the kind of blast that Texas has gotten, which is just crazy. This is the bonsai collection. Museum. That's actually the National Museum for Bonsai. They have several centuries old bonsai in there, as well as some newer ones. But yeah, I remember seeing one there that was like went through the Civil War, and it was, I guess, it germinated. So it's pretty impressive considering how old some of these trees are here in the bonsai. This is the visitor center. You have any pawpaw plants? Yes, I believe they're native here. Again, some of my I'm really not a fan of most deciduous plants, so I sort of, just look away from them. But they are actually very tropical looking. So there's actually some pretty, yeah, pretty awesome. But I know the fruits. I've seen them in Maryland, so I'm assuming they are native to DC, and they're definitely grown here. I can tell you that I've seen them here. But yeah, here we are. Visitor center. Oh yeah, Palm Tree Dude. Yeah, this is a really cool place. It's awesome. Yeah, that's crazy. And yeah, you never get snow, but think about it. If it had precipitated, it probably would have been snow. It's just crazy to think. In South Carolina, granted it's northern South Carolina, but yes, exactly. That is actually pretty awesome because they're very tropical looking. But look at this, a Puncha fragilis. This is a species actually that's native to the western states, and then has a disjunct population in eastern Ontario, which is just awesome. So, you Ontarians out there, this Puncha fragilis is actually native to Ontario, small in eastern Ontario. So look at this, lots of exotica here, and I'm showing you guys the palms in a second. Yes, Sander. Oh yeah. They grow all the way to Ontario. Yeah, exactly. I know, and they grow all the way to North Florida, I believe, as well. Look at this huge, very exotic-looking plant. Looks like Hesperaloe a bit. More Puncha here. Eastern blue star. This cactus. Interesting. Yucca, of course. Looks like Rostrata here. Very popular species of yucca here. Yucca, I should say. People pronounce it differently, but yeah. Yeah, Senator, that's awesome. Yeah, they are very tropical looking, which is pretty neat. Look at that sable minor right there. So, several sable minor, including, so you can see, look at this. So, pretty neat. I don't know if any of these are naturalized, but I actually believe this could be naturalized, which is pretty neat. Look at this little sable minor here. It'd be pretty cool if they naturalized it even further here. But yeah, I wish me. yeah, me too. Palm tree, is that a Rostrata? No, I don't believe so. I don't believe any of these are Rostrata. But yeah. and further south, of course. Yeah. Oh, you're saying in South Carolina? Yeah, I bet you could grow them in, obviously further south along the coast. Maybe Myrtle Beach is probably marginal, but I'm thinking about it, yeah, Hilton Head, I know there's queen palm there long term, so yeah, that's true. Is that a restaurant, a palm tree dude? Did you see one? Yeah, Palm Tree Dude. I really, that's one of my top cities in the entire U.S. to go to. I've never been to Charleston, and I'm just begging to go there. I really, really want to.